Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to TSP, the Snippet Podcast, episode 16 with your boy Raf. And as always, I am joined by my brother in the game, my co-host, JB.
How you doing, guys? Good to be back once again with the new microphone set up. For anyone that can see who's on YouTube right now, can see my lovely new microphone.
This guy's buzzing, man. He's buzzing. He's turning into a real YouTuber now with his kit and everything like that.
That's why I'm jumping on this straight away. That's why I wanted to do the podcast. I just wanted to flex the mic. That's it. That's the only reason.
That's it. Thanks for joining, guys. See you later. Don't worry about anything now. Just see the mic. But yeah, episode 16. Today, we're joined by another one of our bros in the game. From the Mandem, we have Luke Parry. You want to introduce yourself, bro?
Evening all, my name's Luke and I'm here to talk about a certain topic about me which has been all my life really. So yeah, let's get cracking for the questions and answers and opinions and whatever else is going to be splashed out.
Yes. Literally. So yeah, more specifically, we're going to be speaking about, well, it's going to be a deep one, actually. I'm quite excited about it, too. It's basically Luke and living life with a stutter, basically. And the reason I think me and Raf have been quite excited about this is because, you know, we know about it because Luke's been a close friend of ours for a long time. And we know about, you know, the problems that he's suffered along with it. But there are a lot of layers to this, and I think, you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, digging into them and finding out more about it. And, yeah, maybe make me appreciate the whole situation a lot more, basically. So,
yeah, of course. I agree. So like JB said, Paz, we've got just some general bits and bobs that we want to ask you and a couple of questions as well. And then obviously feel free to elaborate on them with your own points. Jay, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, go ahead. So, I mean, the first question I've got is almost quite vague, so we can break it down as we start talking. But
yeah.
The main question which I've sort of thought about for a long time is how has, you know, the stutter actually? Before we get into that, do you want to just tell us like a little bit about, you know, the stutter? Like, what's the actual proper name for it? You know, where it started from, has it been with you your whole life, etc. I'll leave the floor to you.
Yeah, well, it basically just called a stutter or a stammer really. I've had it all my life, so since I was born really, so that's 23 odd years. Well, obviously you can't talk when you're like a 0 or 1, 2, can you? Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it only really affected me. It started to affect me probably when I could start talking, so that's probably about 3, 4 or so, like in reception sort of time. And then obviously as you get older and that lot, it's just got progressively worse, like through school and college and that lot. So yeah, it's really hampered me down like in my life really, because I mean, yeah, admittedly I'm happy with what I've done like and achieved, but I'm pretty certain I could have achieved a hell of a lot more if I didn't have this problem. But at the same time, I'm just a normal human being with just like a unique problem. Like, I'm the same as you two, but with just a speech problem. That's pretty much it, really. But I mean, yeah, it's an interesting one. Obviously, like, it'll be interesting to see how what your questions are about it and various other little bits and bobs. But so yeah, one of you lot ask me a question and I'll explain it and elaborate in the best sort of way.
Of course, yeah. Raf, I'll jump on one first if that's all right.
Yeah, go on.
So yeah, immediately from what you said there, you said it started in reception, so around when you were 3 or 4. When did you notice it straight away? Like, how was you feeling at that specific time? And did you think, you know, it was something that was instilled into you, or was it like a social factor? I don't know, maybe something else around you that's just basically affecting you and making it worse.
It probably affected me, yeah. So like during the start of it and that lot, because I think it wasn't until I went to like a class with like a load of other people who have a speech problem, and that was like, you think when you're in like a massive group of people who also have the same problem as you, it's like you just don't know what to do, and you're going to react off people that lot. And I remember Mum telling me either last night or the night before that literally I went into like a scared mode and everything. It's just such like a shock to the system. But I mean, yeah, it's yeah, like I mean, at reception, you probably I didn't really at least speak that much because obviously you're so young. You all you do is just right around in that lot. But like probably mainly like probably junior school, to be fair, was when it actually properly kicked in. When I was obviously answering questions and speaking at lot. Whereas then you're sort of like a bit like a younger really. So yeah, right. But I have had it all my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a fun fact actually. Ed Sheeran has a stutter.
Does he?
Swear.
Yeah, Ed
I
Sheeran
didn't even know that.
had a stutter. And look where he's gone. Like,
Wait, that's
Guys,
cool.
yeah.
it's literally like it's an absolute madness how like someone that famous has a stutter, and now he's like a multi-platinum selling artist.
Yeah,
Which
yeah, yeah,
is,
yeah. It's interesting because like you were saying earlier, like we're all just human beings, but you feel like it's set you back in in many ways, which we will get into more further on. But I think a lot of it comes down to mindset as well, because I was watching a video recently. What was it? It was Joe Weller's Waffling podcast. That was it. And he had a guest on, and it was called Believing Bruce. And he was basically saying, like, no matter what condition, no matter what situation that you're in, if you keep thinking negatively about a certain thing, then those thoughts will just compound, and it will just make the whole situation that you're in a lot worse. Whereas if you just think positively about whatever situation that you're in,
Yeah.
things will just stay good. Basically, that's the layman's and short-term explanation of it. But,
yeah,
yeah.
you basically got to try and think of all the positives in that lot, and just try and not think on the negatives. It's like if you do stutter, you just got to take a deep breath, slow it down, and just go again. Because like if you keep thinking on the negatives, I've stuttered, you're just going to keep on doing it, and it's just going to it's just going to wind you up even more. You'll get frustrated, and then you won't want to speak,
Yeah.
and then answer the question. So you just got to try and stay as calm and relaxed as you can, and also speak slowly and fluently. Because before I used to just try and speak so fast so I can get it all out. But
Yeah.
but if you try and speak too fast, that's when you have a risk of making a mistake. And yeah, it's and then you get like angry in yourself, and obviously that's a negative as well. You've got to try and keep as relaxed and composed as you can, really.
I think it's good that you brought that up, because from the years that we've been like with you as mates and everything, we've seen obviously from the transition from year 7 to like flipping out like now, like I'm sure Jay can agree, and I think all the lads can agree as well, that we've actually seen such a great development for you compared to like how like we remember times like you were talking about how you said sometimes you like to rush the words just to get it out and be like, oh, okay, I said what I've had to say now. I don't need to worry anymore. I don't have to worry about me actually trying to figure out something else to say because maybe it will happen then. But something to bring up is probably following on to the next question now, actually. How, I've got 2 points for you, actually. How has life developed with living with a stutter? So let's go back to like when we started from, let's say, year 7 to now. Do you think, like, as the years have gone by, do you think you've gone like this? Do you think you're still in the middle, or do you think you've gone down? From my perspective, I think you've gone up. I think Jay can probably say the same thing. But we want to hear from your like side of how you feel like on your own journey, your own progression. Do you think you've gotten better?
I mean, at start of secondary school, I was probably rock bottom, you think, in just low, you like a new school, you got to make a new mates and that lot. Obviously, I was in that position. So were you, and so was Baz and that lot. So yeah, everyone was like, who do I make mates with that lot? But obviously, I found it hard at first to try and introduce myself because I've got to try and make a good impression on them first time round. And you think, like, if I met you for the first time back in year 7, right, and I stuttered, you might think, oh, I don't want to be sort of friends with him.
Mm.
So in my head, I'm like, right, I've already just left a bad impression of myself on him. But yeah, like, following on from your point, obviously, like, year 7, 8, and 9, look, well, even all the years at school were like hard.
Yeah, I can
Hard.
imagine.
I progressively getting better and better. I never wanted to answer questions now, look, because I was just so scared of like answering and getting it, or not necessarily wrong, but just like stuttering at the answer, and then you get like everyone just laugh at you, and you think that's not on at all. But obviously alongside all the speech therapy as well, throughout the years of secondary school, etc., etc., that's helped me as well. So yeah, I've like, at my point of view, I- I've excelled way further than I have, because now I barely do it, even though it's always there. I'm always going to have it. I've I've got belief in myself that I think I'm not going to do it like at all. So yeah, so
That's good though, man. Yeah, that's good because, like you said, we've definitely seen you develop, and of course, like the whole transition from the start of school to the end, and then through college, and then obviously when we were at uni, you're at work. Some of the other boys are at work and that as well. Even when we go out and we like go to yours or we go to someone else's and chill, like you just go with it, mate. And I think that's really good because obviously, like, one, you're in a comfortable zone, you're with your mates and that. Two, you're just doing what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like back in the day, like, if you don't mind me bringing up, obviously we were all in the same maths class, and we would remember like sometimes that there would be some pricks that would say something, or the teacher would be like, they'll actually be patient and wait for you to answer and stuff, which is good because you know what, at the same time, I know you were saying how you weren't comfortable about answering questions and how you felt like, oh, I just want to get it all out just so I don't have to worry about waiting for the next confrontation. But it's good that you actually took your time to obviously just sit back, reflect, and then say it instead of having to rush, because at the same time it could have been much worse than like you rushing and then for worse impact to happen. So I think that's really good that you brought that up, and it's great to hear that obviously the therapy that you were receiving. I was going to actually ask you what support you received. We knew that you were receiving therapy, but we just wanted to get like a little background of the procedure and everything. You can explain that later on when you're ready, but it's good to hear that obviously the therapy did play a big part into it, because I've heard reports about how not every therapy works. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work for everyone,
yeah,
but it's good that it definitely works for you, mate.
yeah. I mean, like, not every therapy works. As you just said, it it varies on the person's mindset. If they want to have the confidence and the ability to overcome it, like, come in, if you have the confidence, you can overcome anything really. And obviously like this problem that I've got, it's been a major, like, a wall in my life really. Oh, the amount of times that I've climbed up it and got knocked back down is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But a person who I am, who just keeps on going and going and just wants to try and improve. And I'm like, yeah, it's worked. It, it worked for me. The hard graft that I've put in the therapy and like the at home work as well, etc., etc. Oh, it's I I'm grateful for all the therapy and sort of everyone else who has been supportive of me for the past, goodness knows how many years with it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Good
that's
man.
good, mate. And keep going, man. Keep going. We're all obviously proud of you, and I think we can. We all think you can do better as well. It's interesting what you were saying earlier as well about like just going back to when you were talking about school. Um, I think we can all agree that like school is a very hostile and harsh environment. You know, people are very quick to judge, and like, I can say I got picked on. Like it is what it is. Like loads of people got picked on, man. I think especially with your stutter as well. I think because secondary school is very like almost fast paced, isn't it? You know, everyone's
Yeah.
kind of talking to each other very quickly, the slang, like the banter and everything. And for me, I think you got a lot better after the secondary school because I feel like you were out of that almost toxic environment.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and
That's when
you
you
know, it's like,
started to actually like jump on it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I thought you got a lot better. So like, I think my question is in those sort of fast-paced environments, like on a night out, for example, does having your stutter, does it make you question whether to go on a night out or to go to, say, I don't know, a gig where, you're socializing with people very often?
I mean, like, that's, like, I used to hate going on nights out just because you think you've got like the loud music, and if I'm trying to talk to someone, it feels like I've got to shout, like,
Mm.
to try and get my like point across. Like if I'm trying to chat up a girl for something, like let's say at a bar or a club and that lot, and there's like really really loud music, I if I'm going right up to her ear, I might stutter, and and she's like what, like what,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and then obviously I try and explain myself, and they're like, oh nah, I'm like, well, one, you obviously I, st- I don't care that you don't want to listen and that lot, or find out some information from me. So that's why I've always been a bit iffy on nights out, because it's the loud music, it's a surround sound. It's sort of, don't know what it is, but like it somehow affects me in it projects in my voice, because like if it feels like I'm trying to like shout louder than music, but I mean,
It's
so,
quite intimidating, isn't it? Like you've got to like put
oh,
more
of
effort in
course,
than just being relaxed and like trying to say what you want to say. Yeah, I can
yeah.
imagine.
I mean, there's no chance of me trying to shout over music in a cheese room or that like that. Am I really? There's absolute no chance. So my best chances of talking to someone is the smoking area. But I mean, who wants to go out there for a chat? You would rather be inside the bar or club having a dance while trying to chat. But obviously, yeah, it's yeah. I've never really been like a big fan of nights. Now, obviously, if I've had to because of your lot's birthdays or that lot, then yeah, I would go with it. But like, yeah, I mean, I chatting to girls as well with God, that's been a massive obstacle in my life, because you think like, can they look past that for the person I am?
Mm.
But but sometimes they are too judgmental, and they pick up on that and they think, nope. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm a lot more, and it's a problem. But also, at your point at school, um, I found my it might be a bit weird, but I found myself to be quite unique in that I was probably the only one in our year to have the problem.
Yeah.
So I that kind of makes me unique in that way, but also it's it kind of separates me from everyone else, because you think, oh, he's got a problem, everyone else is fine. Obviously, there's people who have got like ADHD and various other different like sort of problems. I might not have speech ones, but obviously I had a speech one, and that affected. So yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, like if I'm having a one-to-one with people, I'll be fine, because as long as I'm comfortable, I'm fine. But in a big group, I feel like I'm sort of like I overpressured into getting my point across, and then I sort of end up just being like, oh, I I I don't want to join in. Simple as that. It's like it's the pressure really.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, I mean, do you find then that if you were asked to go on a night out, from what it seems from your answers, it seems you're more swinging on the no side of things. And the thing is as well, you mentioned like if it's one of our birthdays or something, you feel almost obligated to come out.
Yeah.
I will happily say to you right now, you don't have to feel obligated to come out if you don't want to. I would honestly understand, and Raf would understand, and everyone would understand in our group that if you didn't want to come out due to the stutter and you feel like you would be more comfortable indoors or whatever the hell you want to do, friends are supposed to understand that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And
we would probably understand it better than other people because we've been with you for God knows how many years now. Do you know what I mean? So like we've seen you transition from how it was at school to now. And if you're not comfortable, then that's fine, mate. Like honestly, you're not obliged to always have to come out. Like obviously, everyone's got their other commitments and stuff. And but yeah, you don't always have to feel like, oh, I've got to come now. I definitely have to go. It's a birthday thing. Because if you're not comfortable, mate, just that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it would be sick if we're all together. Don't get me wrong, but like it's understandable, and it's not like a cross in our books. Like it's understandable. Isn't it?
I noticed you like the pubs, Luke, instead of the clubs.
Oh yeah. I'm a big pub person compared to like my bars and clubs because like the pub it's a lot more quiet. So even though it can be busy, there's not usually proper like loud head banging music, so I can get my point across quite well.
Cheeky hooch from Charlotte Big Trucks behind the counter.
Do you find the alcohol makes it better or worse, or doesn't affect it at all?
I feel like if I have a few pints, I'll open up and sort of almost I forget about it and just think, oh, I've had a few pints, I can just relax.
Okay, interesting. Yeah,
Relax, open up, and just chat. Because obviously,
does it go completely, or you're just more aware of it and you're not fussed about it?
I'm just more aware of it because obviously I'm here to have a good time and obviously have some beers and a lot, and just try and not think about it. Yeah. Really, because obviously, was it a few years ago when we were all like 18, 19, you think everyone got to the club and literally everyone's aim was to try and pull a girl or whatnot.
Still is, mate.
Years go by and we still got the same motto.
But it's like I sort of always had that thought in my head when I'm trying to approach a girl or that lot at a club. I always got that thought like please don't stutter, please don't stutter, please don't stutter. And like I go to chat, it might be alright at first, and then I'll stutter, and I think, oh good, I've absolutely I've ruined this moment.
Yeah.
Of which
do you find that mindset has changed though, or do you still have that mindset? Because it kind of goes back to the point I made earlier of if you went into that situation with the thought of please don't stutter, please don't stutter. It's like, I don't know, having sex or something, you know, you're thinking, oh, please don't let it go up or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Or like for a person on their first time, you know what I'm saying though? But it goes back to that point of when you go into the situation thinking positively and what you can get out of that, I think the conversation comes across better. And I think you can articulate to the girl confidently that you have the stutter. And I think she'll feed off that too. So do you find that your mindset's changed there?
Yeah, the mindset's changed, of course, because obviously, like, and when I actually like tell them I've got a problem, they're actually really, really understanding and sort of allow me time. You think not many people would allow time in a club. I usually like I want to like dance and boogie, but like if they actually really want to get to know you, they will actually like try and make time for you. Like either go somewhere a bit more quieter, so like in a corridor or outside or whatnot. So, but yeah, it's w- obviously now, obviously I've got like a girlfriend now, so obviously I don't really need to go out looking.
Yeah.
So I haven't got so if I go to a club or a bar, I haven't got to think, all right, I've got I've got to go and try and find someone or that lot.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
No,
cuffed, mate.
I'm
You're
asking the
cuffed.
questions like you're still single, by the way. Yeah, Luke is taken, by the way. But yeah, just historically speaking, anyway, is what I mean. But,
It's good that you brought that up though, Pez, because oh crap, I think I'm gonna sneeze you now. Ooh. Okay, no. So
said we interrupt this segment for Rafi sneeze.
no, but it's good that you mentioned that, Paz, because like I was actually going to ask you how you feel like life has developed for you with the Star, and like obviously now like you've mentioned that you're in this transition now where you feel like you're comfortable and everything, and when you go to a club, it's good that people actually give it like a shit to actually like sit down, have a chat with this guy. Like normally when we go out, we just like, oh, it's random people. And like, you don't think that they're going to want to interact, but there's actually some genuinely nice people that actually do give a crap and they do want to interact with you. I was going to say, like, in this moment in time now, do you feel like you've caught up from school? So like, obviously you had that very dark period from year 7 to 11, and then afterwards from year 12 to now. Do you feel like you've actually caught up, or do you feel like you've still got some years behind you that you need to be like, now I'm okay? Or do you feel like, no, I'm cool now? I think the therapy that I've been getting has enhanced my productivity and like accelerated me forward to be better. Obviously you've got your missus and everything and you're going out with us. Do you feel like that you still got time that you need to catch up on to be better in the position you're in now? Or do you feel like you're just cool?
I mean, I probably feel like I'm possibly a couple of years behind, but I mean, to be honest, me personally, I don't think I would change the way I've done stuff up until now, because I mean, like, and what I've achieved in that lot until now, like, same with you two as well. Like, everything that we've achieved from year 7 up until being 23, 24, it's been nothing short of exceptional, really. Of course, the therapy's helped. Yeah, I mean, it helps some people. It helps maybe not others. It's luckily for me, it helped me in certain aspects in trying to pronounce certain words and certain letters, because there's certain letters and certain words that I try and avoid.
Yeah.
I can't really think of many examples because it's sort of like if I'm sort of like having a conversation,
Yeah.
it's sort of like so yeah, it's certain letters and certain words that I try and avoid to start like a chat with and that lot. But yeah, I mean, like I I feel fine now. I feel perfectly fine. But yeah, like I would possibly like to possibly retrack a couple of years. I would probably say I would want to retrack the GCSE years. I would say
What would you change?
I would I, I would just try and just be more vocal and just trying to put myself out there more by like answering more questions and just trying to like interact more.
Yeah.
Like I always used to, but I always just try and used to go in my shell and just be like, oh, and just sit in the corner and be like, right, and just get on my work and just try not to get any help. But in theory, I should have actually just put myself out there. Like if I started, I started. Like, and the people should just respect the fact that I'm actually trying to like answer a question or whatever really. So yeah, I mean, yeah, probably as the main one in just trying to put myself out there more and sort of like interact and answer questions, etc. I mean,
Do you know what, there's a bigger picture to that as well, I think, as well. Like, you've made me think about just, for example, wanting to start a side project. I find I would always put it off, stay in my own shell and be in my comfort zone. And I think what you mentioned there is good. I think you've basically let everyone know here that you need to venture into the unknown, and that's when you grow as a person. And that's good that you recognise that. So yeah, that's good, man. Is it all right if we can speak a bit more about the therapy that you had?
If I can remember it, then yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Go for it.
how often did you go? Was it once a week, a month, or?
From what I remember, it was possibly like a few times a week.
Oh, okay.
So like I so like 2 or 3 times a week. It was probably doing a different, like, how can I put it? So like a different activities each day.
Yeah. And
But yeah,
and what were the sessions like? So I think you mentioned earlier you were exploring words which you couldn't pronounce very well. Is that specifically you, or was that generally like what was most found in people?
it's probably just trying to like sort of make me more comfortable on certain letters and words, because I mean, it's probably people who were at the therapy who were far worse than me, who were far worse than me, and there might have been people who were not so like worse off. It it varies on a. I believe my one was pretty bad, but I'm pretty certain it's people who could barely even speak
Yeah.
out there in the world. So I've just got to I've just got to be fortunate that I've had the luxury of the therapy, and it's helped me to where I am now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, but yeah, I mean, and the main ones was basically just try and like make me more comfortable on the letters, uh, and words and that lot, and my breathing and my pace of speech as well.
Mm.
Like they're the main ones. And also, they told me if you sing, you don't stutter.
Yeah,
It's
you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I was waiting to pick that up actually because little backstory. I was watching Gogglebox and there was an incident where there was a kid that was at secondary school and his English teacher noticed that he had a stutter in it.
I've seen this.
Yeah, that you've seen that one, yeah?
And the Yorkshire one.
Yeah. Where he
Yeah,
was basically
I've seen
told
that.
to listen to
Look.
music. Look, he was basically.
I couldn't help myself because she's from Yorkshire, isn't she?
Yeah.
Lindsay and Luke
Carry on.
baiting it out. No, but on a real, like, basically,
about-
obviously,
yeah,
English teacher told him to listen to music and then read out the script. And then within the space of when it was like at the end of the year 11 assembly, this guy went up, put his headphones in. He just said the whole thing, like obviously a couple bits and bobs here and there. And he had all the bullies in that assembly hall crying. He had teachers crying, he had the audience crying. And it was just like, wow, man, music done it. And I was thinking to myself, I'm glad you brought that up because we know you like to listen to your music and that as well, innit? Especially on Spotify where you share it 24/7. But that's it's good that you brought that up, and I'm glad that you utilized that sort of like antidote, I guess.
Mate, that's sick. I never even knew that.
Yeah, man, I was watching it. I was like, this guy, literally, the English teacher took him in the room one-to-one. He was like, right, read this. Okay, don't worry, stop. Now put these headphones in. I can't remember the song. I think it was some old song.
Yeah.
I think my man gave him my iPod Touch as well, you know. And then he said, listen to this and I'll say it back. And in the space of a second, like this guy was just zooming through it. And like, obviously he was having a couple of moments here, but it was just mad. And then when it came to the assembly, I watched it. I was like, this guy's shouting and everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, it was so good. And he was even cracking jokes, making people laugh. And it's crazy, man, because obviously you're like, you know.
So is this the part where we ask Luke to sing then?
Yeah, give us a song.
No, we won't do that. We won't do that.
The thing is, though,
Too harsh.
the thing is, though, what that guy got off the crowd was a respect. He got respect off of all the bullies, all the teachers, everyone else, because he probably got put through absolute sort of torture at that school, and then it wasn't until he went to his teacher to sort of like say like help. And yeah, I've used music to help me as well. Like it doesn't have to be a certain genre. It can be absolutely anything. It can be drum and bass.
Death metal.
It can be anything. It
Can
can
you
be,
imagine Luke listening to drill to try and like, he's like, get man down and I get man out, and he's like, yeah, I'm feeling it, bro. Can you imagine? God.
We need to hear
Nah,
a voice note soon.
but yeah, it's like it's actually unbelievable how powerful music is, and sort of and like how it helps your like mind and your brain to like to just relax and just speak. 'Cause, like I've watched that obviously, as you mentioned, Raf, a fair few times, and sort of like it makes me sort of slightly tear up because like in what he's been through, I'm like I've been in that exact same spot, but obviously I didn't stand up at assembly and read. I don't know what you read. If it was some like quote or whatever like that. But yeah, it's like it's phenomenal. Obviously, he wanted to get help, and he did, and sort of like he wowed absolutely everyone at that school. So it's admiring, and obviously like
Of course, man. Like, you can
from my
relate to it.
perspective.
Yeah, you can
Of
relate to
course.
it. That's something you've had to go through your life, and you've seen someone else in your shoes that has managed to literally excel like you. So all the more reason for you to be admired by it, bro.
Respect.
Big respect, Lini.
Do you know what? Speaking about uh, situations where, wait, I'm not saying this right. Speaking about like I don't know, TV shows or whatever. There's something which I shared with you a while ago, Luke. I don't know if you remember, about Steve Harvey, and there was this woman in the audience who came down. Because basically, the background of this is, so this woman stands up, I think, on some kind of talk show which Steve Harvey hosts, and she speaks about her stutter, basically. And I think to her surprise, she didn't realize that Steve Harvey actually had it. This is Steve Harvey. This is a guy which is the
I didn't know that either.
presenter in the United States, right? And yeah, she was explaining her story, and her stutter was really bad at first watch, and then he took her through almost like a therapy session right there and then, and it was so cool to watch. And I don't know, yeah. So I don't know if you watched it, Luke, and if you have any thoughts.
I might need to find that actually, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if you
have a
watched it.
little
I
look.
shared it a while ago, but yeah, it's really, really cool. I think you'd love it. And like basically, Steve Harvey's mentioning how the stutter is not something biological. It's not something physically wrong with you. It's just something that's all in your head, because as we've spoken about with the therapy, it's something that you can treat. Seen with you that you've gotten better there. Steve Harvey, for example, I didn't even know he had a stutter until he mentioned it. And yeah, his general tips was, and I don't know if you do this already and whether you've experienced it in therapy, but he was saying how you should always think of something at least 2 or 3 times before you say the actual thing, and it will come out perfectly. And this
I've done that, yeah.
was basically doing that, and it was working fine for her. And he said that one of the main things which people struggled with as well was eye contact. So I don't know if you've had that situation, if you find that eye contact for you.
That's something I've struggled on with big time, because like in trying to maintain eye contact. Because if you maintain eye contact, it means you want to engage a conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't, you feel like you don't want to be there, and they might like lose interest. That was like, has always been like a flaw of mine. I haven't been able to like maintain eye contact for like a prolonged period in having a chat. I've always been like eye contact and then look at the table, or just look around, or just look like up in the sky or whatever. It's just trying to maintain eye contact. Yeah, at both those points you mentioned, I've tried working on them, and yeah, like they're getting a lot better. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, nice, man.
I agree. That's good, bro.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I'll put the video down in the description as
Yeah.
well for anyone that wants to have a watch. I thought it was really cool. Actually, kind of made me emotional in a way because it was maybe about you
It's
as
a
well.
serious thing, man. Like, people like, don't want to bring it up, but people like, they put X over themselves after some time because they can't live with it. Do you know what I mean? And it's good that we've managed to like, see your journey from the start. Well, not from the very start, but like from the secondary school start for flipping out. How many years has it been now? 13 years?
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Long
13
time.
years. Long time. Bloodline. But Paz, I've got a question for you. It's pretty 2 segments. Like, have you found like a clench point? So basically, have you found a point in your life where you're like, that's it, I'm learning to live with it now? Or do you feel like there's still something that hasn't satisfied you just yet to be then like, you know what, I've got a star, I'm living my life now, I'm going to carry on with things. Obviously, I know I'm going to be feeling down in the dirt some days, but I'm going to rise and elevate and just keep going. Do you feel like you've got a clench point now where you can just live with it and that's it? Or do you feel like you've still got some progress and tasks that you need to complete before you feel content?
I mean,
that was a mad question. I know if you
That
need
was
reminding on it, let me know.
now, I mean, in terms of, in the end of the day, I've just got to live with it, really. Like, I mean, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be because I always try and move it to the back of and to the back of my mind. Always to try and move it as far away as possible, so I can bring all the positives to the front. I mean, yeah, I try and, yeah, I'm perfectly fine now, really. I mean, it might be a day where I'm perfectly fine. There might be a day where I'm literally like having an absolute mare, and I think, oh, like, and the whole world gonna come to an end. It's just not my day. But the fact is, it's only one day.
Mm. It happens to everyone, man, and that's the beautiful thing, isn't it? Like, we all have our flaws, we all have our down days. It's about how you recover from it.
Exactly.
How you permanently progress as a person. But
yeah. You mean like, and this stutter, it defines me as a person, really. It's maybe who I am. I've met some obviously amazing people and got amazing friends through school and that lot who have been so supportive, that lot.
Oh, look.
and just allowing me to like finish my conversation on my thing, because one thing I do hate is people finishing like my sentence off of me. It's like you're like not allowing me to finish, because like if I'm unless it's a really hard word, and yeah, it's sort of understandable, but there's been many times where I'm like having a chat, and then like I'm trying to get out a simple word, and then they just finish the chat for me. I'm like, oh, thanks for that, really.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, like, you lot, I've just been supportive of that lot, and just helped me, and just told me to just slow down, have a deep breath, and just go again. It's like, even if I'm sitting there for 5 minutes trying to get like a one sentence out, like, you lot would do that just because you want to actually like have a chat.
Yeah.
And everything. So, but yeah, back to your obviously a point, Raf, as well. Yeah, I'm basically, I was fine, really. Like, yeah, I just get on with it. I know it's there, but I I I just move on, a new day tomorrow, and just try not to think about it, really.
Nice,
Yes, sir. That's the way
But
forward,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Literally.
I've got a question for both of you now, actually.
Go ahead.
Go on then.
Go ahead.
I've just all I've got to do is just phrase it right.
This guy's sending, man, come on our podcast and try sending that, yeah? No, go on, feel free, bro.
Nah, it's how did it make you feel when you first found out I had the speech problem?
Oh, man, put that pen to paper question, you know. He's been meaning to ask that.
I have actually been asking that. I've been meaning to ask that for quite a while. Like how it made you feel, or like or should I say, how you felt.
Yeah, go on, bro. Yeah, off to you.
Knowing someone who's got a problem. So yeah, like how did it make you feel? You're getting to know someone with a speech problem.
Yeah, you want to go first, or shall I?
I mean, yeah, I guess I can go. I mean, ultimately at the time, I guess I don't really remember because it was such a long time ago when I met you, Luke. But I could probably predict what I was thinking at the time because, I mean, when did we start becoming like close mates? Probably around like
year
9?
Yeah,
9 and 10 in maths,
yeah.
innit?
I'll say year 9. I'll say
yeah, something like that. But I mean, before that, so year 7, year 8, I probably would have thought like any other dickhead, to be honest, just because of my age at the time, my maturity.
Yeah.
And I probably would have thought maybe, I don't know, like subconsciously in my head, I probably would have avoided. Like, it sounds horrible saying it, but like, you know, it's just the way
avoiding contact with someone who feels like you're going to waste their time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a maturity thing. It's a maturity thing. That's why I was saying earlier in this podcast, like, that's why school is such a hostile atmosphere almost, you know. It's any given flaw that you have, people will hone in on it and just
100%,
abuse you constantly.
Yeah, man.
Like, people are ruthless in school. So, I mean, yeah, to answer the question, one, I can't really remember, like, to be honest.
That's fair enough, yeah.
That was it. But, I mean,
it was ages ago.
Subconsciously, I'd probably have to say, like, not exactly avoid, but yeah, just I don't know how to answer it, but you kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I understand you.
Yeah, that's right.
For me, like, I think mine was a bit of a different situation because I was already in my little predicament where I was getting bullied and that, innit? So obviously I think when I started to get to know you a bit more in the later years, obviously from 7 and 8, I didn't really see that much apart from when we had a couple of lessons together. But then when I started to engage with you more in lessons, and I was like, oh, cool, you're right, man. Yeah, cool. And we're at the desk, and then I would see like sort of a little bit of a confrontation. I was thinking, oh shit, okay, so we've got this on the table now. Do you know what I mean? So back then as well, like I was thinking I didn't really want to get involved with any of that because I was already going through my own thing. Yeah. But then obviously as soon as time started to go by, I was like, you know what, I'm getting close to this guy now. He's one of my best mates and everything. And like, I want to make sure that he's okay. But obviously I think the time from when we all started to become a group, that's when it started to be a bit more of like a unit where we could all like see how you are. And obviously we'll be in lessons together. Like I remember in maths, it was like, I think it was me and you at the back. We had Sean and Carl in front of me, and then JB was on the other side. And obviously when it would come to certain situations, we'd be like looking at each other like, shit, like how are we going to do this? And then obviously at the end we'd be like, you're right, and that stuff and everything, because school was ruthless, man. Like you were saying, like if we were to open our mouth, like it would just be like a ton of bricks hitting you. And for me,
get shut down. Man.
For me back then, if I said anything, they'll probably bang me up as well with you as well, because they'll be thinking, oh, you're going to try and boy him and protect him. But at the same time, like I said, I was going for my own thing as well. And of course, like everyone, all of us, we were all going for our own thing. I'm sure we all faced some sort of bullying back then because, you know, there was some pricks that thought they knew it all, innit? Try send for me now, innit? But now, like, yeah, it's I think it's back then I didn't really analyze it as well as I could have. But now, obviously, from that time, I feel like it's a different kettle of fish, and obviously because we've been together for longer and stuff like that, it's better. Yeah.
How do you both feel now, knowing that you've known me for X amount of years? So yeah, so like fast forward, let's say 6, 8 years. So from 15 to 23, what's changed from like then and to now? If you can answer that.
what's changed on our thoughts on you as a person?
Yeah.
I think it's just like because we've engaged with you so much, like we'd always go football, nights out. We made the WhatsApp group with everyone, and we had obviously other mates in our friendship circle, but we've also had like our starting 11. And I think it's the fact that we've just gotten to know you more, man. Like we've adapted to you. Like back in the day, obviously when we're younger, we weren't thinking that much. All we give a shit about is like go home, play games with each other on Xbox, or go football and go to like little gatherings at each other's houses. But then when we started to go to like, when we were all get invited to like parties as a group and like we all be in each other's company a lot more rather than just being in a school environment and like, the gaming side, I think it's the fact that when we're in your company, we've learnt like how you are, we've learnt your flaws, we've learnt your pros, and we've learnt how to like adapt to the situation if something would happen to you. Do you know what I mean? So, from now, I think it's sick, mate. I think it's a good elevation period. Like, obviously, like, look, we're all like working in our fields. Some of us have misses, some of us don't. We're all doing what we're doing. We're all living our lives and everything. And we're young adults now. Like, it's a big game changer because I think I can think about it a little bit in a different aspect because I've actually got a couple of family members that have similar issues as well. And like, I look at them and I'm like, obviously I'm trying to support them and stuff as well, just as like I would try to support you because like, I'm bro in it. So that's it really. I don't think there's any big difference in that.
Yeah. I guess if I were to answer the question, I mean, I've seen you transform for the good, 100%. And I'm glad to see that you're comfortable with how you are as well. I'm always thinking there is room for improvement, generally.
Always is.
Always. But I'm not saying that because I'm being an arsehole. I'm saying that just because I want you to become the best possible version of yourself.
You can always strive for improvement.
Exactly.
It's like even Ronaldo.
Yeah. I was just about to say that,
He always wants to improve. So it's like as long as you have that mentality installed in you, you want to improve.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can stop you.
Yeah.
Really.
Like I'm. Do you know what? It's funny, Luke, by the way, because I actually think quite a lot about how I articulate myself as well, and I find a lot of the times, like literally, when I was working yesterday, I came out with something. The sentence was just so wrong, and I literally beat myself up for it. And I constantly think like I'm comfortable with the way I am. Don't get me wrong, but I'm always looking on how to improve myself, even if I'm really good at something, because. Like you say, the moment you become stagnant, it's just you don't have the motivation to become better.
Yep.
With Ronaldo, like you mentioned, with the frickin' English sentence, which I just described, like your stutter, and it's good to be comfortable with it, but it's also good to constantly strive for more. So yeah, to answer the question, in short, I think you've improved, and I've become much closer with you as a person, and it's great to see how far you've come. And I want you to get even better. So that's basically it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Yeah. One more question for both of you.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm just firing them away now.
You want to start your own podcast? I just I can't get my words out. I can't get my words out sometimes. It just happens.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, go on.
My one. If you were in my shoes and you had my problem, would you do anything different?
Oh, good question.
And also, do you think it would have affected where you would be now? That's quite a deep one, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it's good though. What would I do differently? I'd do exactly as you described earlier. Just try and face the problem as quick as you can. Face your demon, and you'll grow as a person a lot faster. Okay. Well, you've been doing that. So what would you? What would I do differently if I was in the same shoes?
I might be able to add on to that. I'll probably, you know how
Yeah,
you were talking about how you were feeling like, obviously to relate to the demons part, but just literally just don't hold back. Like, I know you said how you weren't feeling comfortable about talking to teachers or answering questions and stuff, but that could be a small hint to improvement, because like you're actually putting your hand up, you're like, okay, I'll give it a go. And the time that you take to relax and like answer the question or ask a question could just give you that small like centimeter endurance to get a little bit better. And before you know it, you've got this long meter stick of where you've traveled from here to here. Is that a meter? That looks like a meter, isn't it? Maybe a bit bigger, but like, yeah, just get a meter stick. Yeah, see there, mate. But like, personally, I think I would definitely try and, if I was in your shoes, I would definitely just go all out, because you know what? For someone that like, if I were to have the thing, I would try to make sure that, I'm not saying that you didn't, but if I was like in that moment of time, I would do every single thing I could to just make sure I can snap it in and get better. Obviously, you can't rush it, and you got to take your time when you're doing it as well. But of course, receiving the support like you have from your parents, your brothers, and like, you know, family and friends and everything, I would definitely jump on that straight away, jump on the therapy thing, and yeah, just make sure I go like, I'm in my car, start driving, make sure I get there to each destination, and just not feel like, oh, you know, I don't want to miss, I'm just going to miss that exit, because you could have gone on that exit and you could have, you know, found some hidden treasure that would help you to get better. So I would probably definitely just like, you know, take each opportunity I get to like answer a question or see what I can do to seek additional help in it.
Luke, I've thought of a couple more.
All right, go on.
If we're ever together in a group on a night
Yep.
out or at your house or at someone else's house, whatever, if you don't feel comfortable because of the stutter, let me know or let anyone else know. That's one thing I'd say. Because sometimes I think I can see that you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or I think I can read it.
I've noticed that with
Eventually.
a few of you who might have like looked over and sort of think like he doesn't look quite so comfortable in his element. Should I take him away and just sort of like, are you alright? And then like if you sort of like say that, I might then be like, and actually I'm not, like, so like I should go home. So yeah, that's a good point you made. In like you can see and tell if I'm sort of comfortable
Yeah.
or not
Yeah.
in my scenario. So like that's definitely a good trait to have.
Yeah.
Especially with someone like, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm vulnerable as such. It's more of a like you just, I've got to look out for him really and just make sure he's doing he's doing all good really.
I suppose it works both ways. I think you're right. Sorry,
Yeah.
Raf. I think like you said, I think maybe we should make an effort to say, "Are you okay?" And I also think if you're uncomfortable, don't be afraid to share your feelings. And the second thing I was going to say as well was, oh Christ, I've gone blank. Where was it? Ah, sorry. It was balls. Yeah, that was it. If someone is interrupting you, tell them to stop interrupting you.
Yeah. On a real, be firm with it, because you know what, you're taking your time to say what you have to say, and if someone just jumps in and goes, oh yeah, whatever, mate, now tell them. And if
but
there's
Raf, I think it's important to take responsibility for your own feelings as well, though. This is something me and Raf spoke about.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally what I was going to say.
Don't immediately say like, stop interrupting me. I'd just be like, look, I feel a bit annoyed or I feel anxious when you're interrupting me. Could I please finish my sentence? And people will be understanding. People will be understanding when you take responsibility for your own feelings. People become very understanding.
That's the main thing.
Of course they will. As long as they understand the situation, everything will be alright. But I mean, like, there's always going to be knobs out there who just think they're better than everyone else and just don't want to listen to you. But I mean, they're the people who you don't want in your life. Simple as that.
Mm.
Really. God, I mean, like when the amount of people who who I would probably want in my life, but then you think, hang on a minute, he or she was a bit of a knob in the way that like they were around me and the way that they treated my sort of speech. You think, like, you don't deserve me, simple as that. So,
Good.
but now,
Good response.
I'm just glad to possibly have like a smallish number of friends and not having one big group. It's all split into like lowish numbers, so it's quite comfortable. Whereas if we were going like in like a massive group, you think I'd feel quite like singled out and think I might not be able to like make a conversation and that lot really. So
You know what they say, literally, and I know it's going to sound odd, but the tighter the circle, the better.
Jeez.
And that's got two meanings to it. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree. Like you get so many people pop up now and like, oh, hey, how are you? Long time no speak. And I'm thinking, you were a hater. I know you want to talk. Like, there's no point. Just go away. Just go away. Like, but yeah, literally, I'm glad you brought that up, bro, because obviously, like, this is what I was saying. Like, you've got, like, obviously, you've got a couple of other mates. Like, you've got Marcus, you've got a couple of other of your mates as well. You've got us lot. There's like 11 of us, and like even Mike as well. Your bro, isn't it? Like he engages with us as well. It's a good unit, and I think that's the main thing because we can all learn off each other. We can all support steps. We can all support each other. Man said to pair, you know, and we can all support each other, and most definitely just the main thing, look out for each other, like we have. So,
yes, sir. Right, I'm a bit conscious of time, so I don't want the recording to just completely corrupt. But I've got one last question.
Yes.
If that's all right, Raf. I don't know if you've got anything else.
I've got one last question as well. That's it, yeah.
Okay, cool. Which is there any advice that you'd give to anyone else on how to...
said the same question as me in that, yeah. There you go, 2 for 1.
Yeah, is there any advice that you give to anyone else on how to improve the stutter or anything else in general with regards to it?
I would basically just say, be yourself. Just try it and relax. Be confident. Make sure you're firstly in a comfortable environment and that you're not putting yourself under pressure. Like, I would say go somewhere quiet, not somewhere with like loud music that would dwell you out so you won't hear yourself speak. Yeah, just relax. Try and speak slowly, really, and sort of like if you need to have a deep breath, have a deep breath. Like maybe have like a glass of water on the side, just like if you do get a little bit nervous, just like have a drink, have a big deep breath, and then go again. Like yeah, like I mean, they're the main points really. Just try and relax, be comfortable, be confident in your speech, in knowing how you're going to succeed and get it out first time. If not first time, you just go again. If you stop after one, you won't know the answer from the other person. Yeah. So you've just got to keep on going. It might take a few turns to get it out, but you will feel so good about yourself that you got it out, and then you can just relax. So yeah, they're the main points personally from my perspective. Obviously there will be loads of other ones out there, like on Google and that lot really, but as in relation to me, there are those ones personally.
Good man, good answer. All right, well, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to wrap up. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. Unless have you got anything else to add or any other questions, Raf?
Nah, man, all good. Just like you want to say, Paz, nice one for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we respect that you are comfortable to obviously, say everything you had to say, because I know it could be quite a bit of a touchy subject as well. JB can as well, yeah. But yeah, big up yourself, man, and nice one. Keep doing what you're doing, innit?
Yes, ditto.
It's not spoken about this problem either. Like I know we bang on and on about mental health and that lot, but like this like isn't really spoken about either.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to like raise awareness for it really, and all that lot. To be honest. So because yeah, so yeah, you just got to keep on going, plow away, and so yeah, like I've got to learn to get on with it, ride the waves. You'll feel on cloud 9 one day, and you might feel bottom of the dump truck on next day. It's the way it goes sometimes. So just be yourself and just keep on grinding.
Yes,
Man, like.
my guy. Well, yeah. Thank you again, Raf. Luke.
Sorry, bro. No worries. Man's here, innit? I'll see you next week and that.
But yeah, that was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. I mean, I've learned a bit more about the Stutter in general. I've learned a bit more about you.
I
Luke,
enjoyed that as well. Yeah.
It's been really good.
I've learned a lot, man. We've learned about your journey and that now, and I'm sure we can all take away something from this and see how we can just keep getting better, really.
Of course.
All right. Well, I'll wrap up. So, yeah, thanks again, Luke, and thank you, Raf, once again, obviously, for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed that one. I definitely did. I'm sure Raf did too.
Loved it.
Leave your comments down below. What did you guys think? If anyone has a similar problem, maybe, again, drop some comments down below. We can attach Luke's socials or something in the description too. Again, yeah, any general comments are accepted. That'd be really cool. Make sure you obviously press the like, subscribe. We're on Spotify, iTunes, and I'll leave the website to our podcast in the description too. Coming up on the next episode, I think we're talking about Call of Duty, so something a bit more lighthearted, and doing like a little tier list of all the games. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you soon. Peace.
See ya!
It is.
Bang. Banging, boys.